Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about Earn by Mile pilot program on Doordash. So recently I got an email from one of my subscribers,
Anonymous Sender.
Thank you so much for emailing me about this and making this video possible. And he forwarded me about this pilot currently being tested near him, and I'm not really sure how to feel about it yet. I don't even think it's called the Earn by Mile pilot program. It's just the name I came up with based on the email he sent me, and we're gonna talk about it. So with that said, we are talking about everything that's being said in this email, how it actually is for Dashers today and potentially even in the future, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain, is never intended to be, legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear, especially when it comes to pilot programs that are still in the early stages, that everything is going to be market dependent. And what applies to me in my market may not apply to you. So with that said, let's get started. Hey, just got this email from Doordash yesterday. I usually don't work Monday or Tuesday, but figured you may want to see this and give your opinion. I will see what happens when I go out tomorrow. I have tried to redact my name and personal info from the actual email. And of course, as a reminder, if you ever feel as if you are concerned about forwarding me something or telling me a story, but you really want to send it, feel free to just request to remain anonymous. I totally understand, especially when retaliation's a thing. But if you do want a shout out, just sign your name at the bottom. Either way, I would love to hear from you at drivenwyld@gmail.com. Feel free to email me there. Earn more reliably. We're always looking for ways to improve the dashing experience for Dashers. As part of this effort, we are launching a pilot in your area that aims to provide more consistent pay per mile and reliable earnings on every offer. Average weekly Dasher earnings per online hour should remain just as good, if not better, than before as a result of this pilot. That's a lot of political nonsense. Here, let me fix that real quick.
We're always looking for new ways to siphon the money from potential earnings from gig workers. So that way they could keep running on their itty-bitty little hamster wheel and continue making us more money while they struggle to pay their own bills. And of course, we'll skew the results to make it look as if the average weekly Dasher earnings per online hour should remain as good.
Yeah, that's about right. Changes you might notice. Higher base pay for Dashers on offers that require more time or effort, such as longer distance deliveries, to help make base pay scale more consistently with effort, meaning you can earn more reliably on every offer regardless of distance. Now hang on a second, Doordash. Didn't you say in other promotions that you were doing, whenever you reduce the base pay exactly this way, that you were doing that anyway, but in reality, you were maintaining the low value of those orders over and over again? Not to mention the overall amount of times that you've kept the base pay low because the customer tipped, because you're lying, because you always have lied, because you always will lie. That's what I thought. Either way, if this does something to the 10-mile delivery for $2 that they consistently do, I'm here for it. I just don't think it's actually gonna happen. I think this is their next move to reduce the base pay to $1. I really do think that. Changes to the checkout experience for consumers, including a new tipping experience, which may result in lower tips. We expect that on average, any changes in tips will be offset by the higher base pay, meaning Dashers should earn on average the same or even higher earnings per online hour during the pilot. Now, if this was really that much of a change, why are we trying to reduce the default tip options for us? If you're really concerned about making sure we earn more for the distance, why are you removing the defaults in such a way? Is it because you're full of crap? Because you've always been full of crap? Because you always will be full of crap? This is not about making more money. It's about phasing out the tipping system. That's what I thought. Not to mention, with these changes that we might notice, They didn't even talk about how much we're earning per mile. That didn't even enter the equation at all. It was just, they're gonna make the base pay higher for longer distance deliveries, meaning that lower distance deliveries, which are already pretty low to begin with, are gonna go even lower and will be offset by the higher base pay, which isn't actually happening here. And higher earnings per online hour during the pilot. What are you trying to do? This is just their way to basically say, we're at a point where we're not winning with the US government. Almost every state is against us at this point, and we don't know how to win, so this is our only winning move, is to make it seem like we care when in reality we don't. Why is DoorDash piloting this change? We are always exploring ways to improve the Dasher experiences for both Dashers and consumers. For Dashers, we want earnings to be more reliable and consistent and scale better with effort. For consumers, we want our platform to remain valuable and affordable, leading to even more orders so that Dashers can stay even busier on the road. Oh, okay. So you want consumers who already are tired of tipping culture to actually receive their orders, and you know they're not going to start tipping because that's the kind of system you created. Those are the kind of customers you're attracting. And instead of actually doing something about those customers who are obviously the problem customers, you're going to start implementing a system which, based on the way you guys operate, is going to go south. There has not even been a hint of a message on how much people are earning per mile. Like, did anybody even mention that? Like, we're gonna talk about this later. I looked into some other people who are experiencing this in their markets, and what is crazy to me is that no one's talking about how much they're paying per mile per offer based on the way they're talking about it. Like, literally none of them. I don't know if I could trust how they're going to be operating this. Will my earnings be impacted? The average weekly Dasher earnings per online hour should be the same, if not higher, with more of your earnings coming from the base pay instead of tips. As always, consumers can tip at checkout or after whatever amount they would like, and 100% of the tip will go to the Dasher. Assuming there's not some funky stuff going on with the tips at all, but okay. My question is, if the earnings per online hour should be the same, if not higher, why didn't you mention what those numbers are? Did you even account for those metrics at all? Are you just marketing something to appease some political nonsensical nonsense person? Because quite frankly, I can already imagine that this is literally because some politician was up your ass about something. They do request feedback. I highly recommend not doing that, especially if you're in the areas in which are being tested, specifically based on this email. Gadsden, Alabama, Pensacola, Florida, Shreveport, LA, or Tallahassee, Florida. If you're in those markets, let me know how those orders are. But honestly, I'm really concerned. And apparently a lot of people are on Reddit very concerned as well. Let's go over it. They mentioned twice at least that pay will be the same or higher, but that doesn't make sense. By their words, customers across the board might tip less, but only harder orders will see potential base pay change. Higher base pay only targets one kind of order, while all orders are subject to less tips. Unless you're consistently already getting a lot of these harder orders in your area, this change might just lose you money. Yeah, this is something that I'm gonna note based on the pilot program's pilot areas, which is Pensacola and Tallahassee. I took a trip up to Pensacola to see one of my cousins, and I was online with Uber at the time, and almost every order was 10 plus miles, but like $6. So that would be really good if the dollars to mile ratio makes sense. But in this case, it's really not. It's DoorDash. They never do make sense with the dollars to mile ratios. Not to mention the hidden tip offers. Oh my God, we'd be here forever. I personally prefer the pilot program just because LOP is gone, so anyone can get $100 plus orders with or without catering bag. Only scheduled catering orders ask for a bag, and and those are a lot more rare. I don't have to stress the last week trying to raise my AR. If I dip below, I could just EBT until I'm over 70%, and when I'm about to dip out like I am right now, I could just schedule a dash for the rest of the week. The fact that you're totally okay with them treating you like garbage is already a red flag. Bruh, you gotta diversify your gig portfolio. Holy crap. And the other point that they made, the LOP is gone. It is pretty much dead for the most part, but that is why you diversify into catering companies like Deliver That, Delivered, Food Fetch, Bolt Deliveries. There's a bunch. And a lot of local ones too. So that way you're never too dependent on any one app. You were literally dependent on it, and then you're stuck with EBT. Remember 18 months ago when DoorDash said they were reducing base pay overall, but increasing it for longer distance and more effort, then immediately got rid of the $6.25 base pay for shop orders? Yeah, I'm sure this pilot program is just more lipstick on the same old pig. Exactly. They do this all the time, and you know what the crazy part is? Everyone believes it initially, and then they experience it, and then they know better from now on. It's DoorDash's MO. They take something that they say is a good idea, or something that was really good initially for all of us, and then they ruin it. That was the Dasher Rewards program, that was Top Dasher, the large order program. They literally ruins the platform as a whole. The glory days of DoorDash have come to such a hard crash, it's scary. When it starts out, we're always looking for ways to improve the dashing experience for Dashers. That always means they're trying to cut costs. Ain't that the frickin' truth, though? Why do they have to F with tips instead of just paying appropriately like they used to? We're going to finally pay based on mileage, but we have to spite you guys and encourage customers to not tip. What the F? Why can't they just raise the base pay? Why do they want to make it so nobody tips? Effing ridiculous games this company plays. You know what the problem is? We as a country are justifying poor behavior so often that it basically tears each other apart as a whole. Like, how often do Dashers and customers rip each other apart on the internet? And then the customer's excuse is always take it up with the company, and we always take it up with the company, and it's still a losing battle. When in reality, it doesn't justify the poor behavior at all. Shit people will always be shit people. I'm a firm believer of no tip, no trip, not simply because it earns me more money, because it reveals the character of the customer. I don't want to work with everybody. I want to work with people worth working with. And you know exactly those type of people every time are the ones that don't tip at all. The people that always give you the most problems. The people that have the most unrealistic expectations of you. The ones that message you immediately the moment you get the order and then give you a 1-star rating with no reason why after, even if you were early. The ones that force refund methods. Those are the ones that don't tip their drivers. It's a fact. It's not an opinion anymore. It's been proven time and time again, and it's sad and it shows. Either way, let me know if I missed anything on this subject. Let me know in the comments if there's another perspective of this. Let me know what you guys think. And let's make sure we have all of the information that we could possibly see from all the perspectives that we could possibly see it. And we can make the most amount of money in the least amount of time in the safest possible way. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.